Standing Royal Navy deployments is a list of operations and commitments undertaken by the United Kingdom's Royal Navy on a worldwide basis. The following list details these commitments and deployments sorted by region and in alphabetical order. Routine deployments made by the Navy's nuclear-powered submarines and their location of operations is classified. Atlantic = Antarctic Patrol = Antarctic Patrol is undertaken by the Royal Navy's Antarctic Patrol and Icebreaker, HMS Protector, in the South Atlantic Ocean. Its primary mission is surveying and gathering data on the seas around Antarctica while also providing support to the British Antarctic Survey operations stationed in and around the British Antarctic Territory. 2 Royal Research ships of the Merchant Navy are also stationed in the region. RRS James Clark Ross and RRS Ernest Shackleton. Atlantic Patrol Tasking North = This is the Royal Navy's commitment to secure and protect the interests of Great Britain and her overseas territories in the regions of the North Atlantic and the Caribbean. The deployment primarily conducts counter-narcotics missions and provides humanitarian assistance during hurricane season. The task is carried out by a single warship. As of 2014, a RFA Wave Knight of the Royal Fleet Auxiliary is assigned to the task. HMS Seven, an offshore patrol vessel, will assume this task in 2014/2015. Atlantic Patrol Tasking North was formerly known as the West Indies Guard Ship. Atlantic Patrol Tasking South = The Royal Navy maintains a permanent presence in the South Atlantic and West Africa to provide ongoing protection and reassurance to British interests such as the sovereignty of the Falkland Islands and South Georgia, while also supporting British forces South Atlantic Islands. The commitment consists of 2 warships. Either a guided missile destroyer or frigate accompanied by a Royal Fleet Auxiliary vessel. As of 2014, HMS Portland and RFA Black Rover are assigned to the task. Falkland Islands Patrol Task = The Falkland Islands Patrol Task consists of a single warship stationed around the EEZ of the Falkland Islands. It forms part of British forces South Atlantic Islands and aims to reassure the inhabitants of the region and maintain British sovereignty. HMS Clyde has been permanently assigned to the task since her commission. Clyde uses the deep-water naval base facilities of Mare Harbour, East Falkland. Standing NRF Maritime Group 1 = The Royal Navy hardly ever provides a single warship to the Standing NRF Maritime Group 1. The standard area of operations for the Standing NRF Maritime Group 1 is the Atlantic Ocean. As of July 2013, the Royal Navy hasn't assigned a warship to Standing NATO Maritime Group 1 since 2012. British and Northern European waters. Cold weather training = Cold weather training is a Royal Navy commitment to the annual Norwegian-led exercise in the Arctic regions. Its purpose is to build and strengthen military ties and to enable the Royal Marines and Royal Navy sailors to fight and win in extreme conditions. Diving units = The Royal Navy's surface fleet also consists of 3 major diving units: Northern Diving Group, Southern Diving Group, Fleet Diving Units 1, 2, and 3. These work with Royal Navy, Special Forces, and other UK departments such as the Police and Home Department for EOD activities and training. Fishery protection = The Fishery Protection Squadron is charged with protecting the British fishing industry, providing security to the oil and gas fields in the North Sea and other duties in the United Kingdom's exclusive economic zone. It consists of 3 warships: HMS Tyne, HMS Seven and HMS Mersey. Joint Warrior = Exercise Joint Warrior is a Royal Navy commitment to engage in an biannual tri-service exercise intended to achieve enhanced military effect. It is the largest military exercise in Europe. Towed Array Patrol Ship = TAPS is a standing task for reactive anti-submarine patrol duties in support of the strategic nuclear deterrent. A Type 23 frigate is maintained at high readiness for this task 365 days a year. Training = Training in UK home waters is essential for preparing both crews and ships before overseas deployment. Flag Officer Sea Training is responsible for making sure that both Royal Navy and Royal Fleet auxiliary ships are fit for operational purpose after rigorous exercises and readiness inspections. This commitment is ongoing 365 days a year. East of Suez, this is a list of operations and commitments presently undertaken by the Royal Navy east of Suez in the Red Sea, Gulf of Aden, Persian Gulf, Arabian Sea, the wider Indian Ocean and the Far East. Combined Task Force equals, the Royal Navy regularly contributes to two multinational coalitions. Combined Task Force 150 and Combined Task Force 151. Combined Task Force 150 is focused on maritime security and counter-terrorism, while Combined Task Force 151 is charged with anti-piracy missions. As of 2014, the Royal Navy deploys a single warship to CTF 150, HMS Somerset. Humanitarian missions equals, the Royal Navy remains committed to providing humanitarian aid where possible. During the 2004 Indian Ocean earthquake and tsunami, the Royal Navy responded by deploying RFA Diligence and the frigate HMS Chatham with Westland Lynx helicopters to provide assistance. In 2014, the Royal Navy deployed HMS Echo and HMS Tireless to search for the missing Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 in the Indian Ocean region. Operation Atalanta equals, Operation Atalanta is a European Union multinational task force charged to combat terrorism and piracy off the Horn of Africa and Somalia. Operational headquarters are located in the United Kingdom at Northwood Headquarters, London. British ships in the region are usually assigned to CTF. Op Atlanta is named as Naval Party 14TW and 14TX. Operation Herrick equals. The Royal Navy contributes to the ongoing Operation Herrick, the code name for the United Kingdom's operations in Afghanistan. The Navy's commitment to the operation consists of the Royal Marines and several Fleet Air Arm squadrons. The UK has ended combat operations in Afghanistan in late 2014. Operation Kipian equals, the Royal Navy maintains a continued maritime presence in the Gulf and Indian Ocean regions to protect and secure the nation's many political and commercial interests. The enduring commitment usually consists of an escort, a supporting Royal Fleet auxiliary ship and several other ships with various roles. As of 2014, RFA Fort Austin, RFA Diligence and HMS Somerset are assigned to the task. 43 Commando Fleet Protection Group Royal Marines are also assigned to the task force. Operation Kipian was formerly known as the Armilla Patrol during the 1980s and 1990s. Operation Kipian Mine Countermeasures equals. The Royal Navy maintains a permanent presence in the Gulf consisting of mine countermeasure vessels. It provides continued support to the region, ensuring the safe flow of trade and oil. Presently 4 vessels are deployed to the region. HMS Quorn, HMS Atherstone, HMS Shoreham and HMS Ramsey. Typically the mine countermeasure vessels are supported by a Royal Fleet auxiliary ship acting as a mothership. In 2012 RFA Cardigan Bay was tasked to support the vessels. Regional partnerships equals, the Royal Navy maintains close ties with numerous allies and partners east of Suez. In the Gulf region, such partners include Bahrain, Oman, Saudi Arabia and several other countries with which the UK maintains defence cooperation agreements. The UK Maritime Component Command in Dubai and Bahrain is named as Naval Party 1023. In the Far East, the UK retains naval facilities at Sembawang and Singapore to support operations in the region as well as those of the Five Powers defence arrangements. In 2013 HMS Daring took part in a Five Powers defence arrangement exercise during a 9-month global deployment. This depot is jointly managed by the Royal Navy and the Defence Fuels Group. This depot is known as Naval Party 1022 and works in conjunction with the U.S. Navy's Task Force 73. Naval Party 1002 equals, the Royal Navy, along with personnel from the other branches of the British Armed Forces, maintain a presence in the overseas territory of Diego Garcia in the Indian Ocean. It is officially known as Naval Party 1002 with a Royal Navy commander in charge. Naval Party 1023 is responsible for enforcing immigration, policing and other civil functions in the British Indian Ocean Territory. Diego Garcia is home to a United States military base leased to it by the United Kingdom. Global = continuous at sea deterrent equals. The continuous at sea deterrent is provided by the Royal Navy's 4 Vanguard-class submarines which deploy on a continuous basis around the globe. The Vanguard class are each armed with a maximum of 16 Trident 2D5 submarine-launched ballistic missiles and 48 nuclear warheads. Cougar Exercise Cougar is a routine large-scale international exercise held by the Royal Navy. It was created under the 2010 Strategic Defense and Security Review to demonstrate the operational readiness of the Response Force Task Group to respond to threats worldwide. Unlike Joint Warrior, Exercise Cougar deploys outside of the United Kingdom to demonstrate its RFTG ability to operate as a rapid reaction force on behalf of the UK and, importantly, underlines the global reach and flexibility of the modern Royal Navy. As an international exercise, the RFTG gets the chance to engage in intense exercises with foreign and allied navies, such as the Royal Navy of Oman. Fleet Ready Escort The Fleet Ready Escort is a single warship maintained at high readiness for deployment at short notice anywhere in the world. The FRE consists of either a guided missile destroyer or a frigate. As of January 2014, this commitment has been gapped by the Royal Navy twice. For 19 days in 2011 and 18 days in 2012. International partnerships The Royal Navy remains committed to working with its international partners around the globe. The principal purpose of these partnerships is to reassure allied nations, to share intelligence and expertise, to build trust and ultimately provide security across the world's oceans. Examples of such international partnerships of which the Royal Navy plays a leading role include the maritime component of the Anglo-French Combined Joint Expeditionary Force, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, or SCANS-UCAS, the European Maritime Force and the 5 Power Defense Arrangements. The United Kingdom is a member of RIMPAC also, although it hasn't participated in way of deploying a surface ship in several years. NATO Mine Countermeasures This is the Royal Navy's commitment to support NATO MCM operations in the Baltic, Northern European waters, the Atlantic and the Mediterranean Sea. There are 2 organizational structures. Standing NATO Mine Countermeasures Group 1 and Standing NATO Mine Countermeasures Group 2. As of 2014, HMS Blythe is deployed in the Mediterranean for NATO MCMV training exercises. Response Force Task Group Response Force Task Group is the Royal Navy's expeditionary task force maintained at high readiness and available at short notice to respond to unexpected global events. In addition to warfighting or amphibious operations, the RFTG can undertake a diverse range of activities such as evacuation operations, disaster relief or humanitarian aid. The composition of the RFTG changes depending on its task and the range of available assets. However, it generally consists of several large amphibious warfare ships, guided missile destroyers, frigates, replenishment ships from the Royal Fleet Auxiliary and sometimes a nuclear-powered fleet submarine. Mediterranean Gibraltar Squadron The Gibraltar Squadron consists of 2 fast patrol boats, HMS Scimitar and HMS Sabre. They provide force protection for NATO or coalition warships entering the naval facilities of Gibraltar and conduct maritime security in the surrounding British territorial waters. Standing NRF Maritime Group 2 The Royal Navy routinely provides a single warship to the Standing NRF Maritime Group 2. The standard area of operations for the Standing NRF Maritime Group 2 is the Mediterranean Sea. As of July 2013, the Royal Navy hasn't assigned a warship to Standing NATO Maritime Group 2 since 2012. Pacific Humanitarian missions Although the Royal Navy no longer maintains a permanent presence in the Pacific Ocean, is always committed to providing humanitarian aid where possible. When Typhoon Haiyan struck the Philippines in late 2013, The Royal Navy deployed HMS Daring and HMS Illustrious as part of the United Kingdom's humanitarian aid mission to the region. As of late 2014, warships deployed on the Atlantic Patrol tasking South have routinely extended their operations into the South Pacific. The latest warship to be deployed is HMS Lancaster, departing the United Kingdom on March 21, 2015 for a 9-month deployment to the region. Lancaster relieved HMS Dragon, which had been deployed since October 2014. See also: Blue Water Navy, standing French Navy deployments, Her Majesty's Naval Service, Merchant Navy. References. External links: Royal Navy, Operations.